players. We have EG Puma, and we've got T2 White Raw. You guys come out here, shake hands. We've got fans of both in the house. I want to hear you loud and proud during these matches.
Well is right, Apollo. It's every once in a while you have one of these matches that comes up. You know, you see the player 1 versus player 2, and you just say to yourself, that is going to be an amazing matchup. And based off of some of the things that we've seen in the past,
yeah,
give a big shout out to Leon.
And what? This is, when I looked at the games we were commentating, this one stood out in the round of 16. I was like, I am glad we got the late night shift because this game's going to be awesome. White Raw's texting his wife. He's texting his wife saying, I've got this. I'm going to win it for you, darling.
Actually, he's getting his special tactics music ready, which includes like the Mission Impossible theme just over and over. It's on loop. He's got like the Moby remix version of it. And, I mean, he's just, anyway. I mean, yeah, and first Protoss versus Terran too. Now, let's talk about the controversial side of this because I know that people out there on Team Liquid, on Reddit, are going to want us to mention this.
Yeah.
And that right now, there's actually some anti-fans of Puma because he went with a 1-1-1 build that ultimately knocked out Liquid Hero from the competition. While some players say, or some fans say, hey, play to win, right? You are given these mechanics, you're given these tools within the game, play to win. He executes a build brilliantly. He can beat players with it, go. On the other hand, you've already got these White Raw fans that are like, Puma better not just 1-1-1 and try to take it into the top 8 round of 8. It won't be happening, won't like it. No, can't happen, no. And, you know, can a guy like White Raw hold it off? Will Puma go that way? Crowd seems to say yeah. Apollo.
I think so too. I think the thing with Puma, as we were even talking backstage, is that his style is very known now. He's very execution-based with his style. I mean, it's not saying that that's something he'd focus on all the time. He's a very, very strong mechanical player. You have to think about where he came from. StarCraft 1, he was actually a training partner for Flash. Okay, he was Flash's training dummy for many years. He was tortured by him, game over game over game.
Right.
This guy's a monster in StarCraft 2, and you can see it by his results as well. NASL, you got the IEM win. Could this be another foreign win for him?
Well, we're going to find out, guys, as it looks like both players are ready. We're going into this one. It's Puma from Team Evil Geniuses versus White Raw. And I am so excited here for this matchup. And you know what? There's been a lot of bets involving hair lately. And Sean, I think you should just say that if Puma wins it, you're going to dye your hair that color right there.
No.
No, okay. Fair enough, I'm okay with that. Let's take a look at these two players here and give it up. Here in the west position, spawning as the Red Terran. Give it up for EG Puma. And you know him, you love him, and his special tactics. Give it up for the Blue Protoss, White Raw.
Oh, wow.
Woo. Certainly the fan favorite here at IPL 3, been building himself as a player for many, many years, going all the way back to Brood War, and just charming his way to the hearts of fans through both in-game and out-game antics. White Raw is certainly, in my opinion, one of the most successful foreign StarCraft 2 players.
And Puma wasn't a qualification player. He wasn't a qualified player, should I say. He wasn't an invited player. He made it all the way through the open bracket here, and his results are incredible, to be honest. He's absolutely flying. He's 2-0 minigun, 2-1 Sake, 2-0 Chef, 2-0 Artist, 2-1 Hero. This guy is unstoppable. He is so good at this game. And White Raw is going to have to do something here to pull this out. He's going 13 Gateway. He's going to be going for that triple Chrono Boost. He's playing economy focus. And if anybody can bring down Puma, it would be White Raw.
What do you think about the fact that Puma did throw down his refinery before Rax? It has just finished up. He's already going to start mining his gas, and that can be an indication of...
yeah, it could be like, it can be really tech-heavy, Cloak Banshee, but at the same time, it could be, Korean Terrans do like to go reactor react onto the factory, Hellions expand. So we really don't know yet what exactly he's got planned. We'll have to see very, very shortly, but I think it's going to be just a reactor and a factory. And the Hellion usage is really good, because if a Stalker moves out, and a lot of Protoss players do that, right? They come out with a Stalker, they go check it, and if you do that, you're going to lose that Stalker, and then the Hellions are going to come at you. If you move out with a Zealot and Stalker, that's even worse. So it's going to be really difficult to actually get a Scout as well, and we're going to see how this goes down. We so have the 3, oh actually, is that the 4th? Chrono Boost going down here for White Ross, who's really focusing hard on that Chrono Boost.
Oh, slipped in there. Did not have the 100 yet for the supply depot. We're gonna have probes sneak on in, see what's going on, sees that the factory's going down, etc. Let's hide back there in the smoke and chill a little bit. Now, one thing I also want to to point out here is that based off of the locations that both these players have spawned in, and based off the fact that White Raw has begun to make that Warp Prism play almost a staple of what he deploys in terms of tactics, this is a good position for him to be able to throw down the power stasis, if you will, of the Warp Prism right over here, try to get some units in. Regardless, I wonder if we will see heavy play because of the locations in which they've spawned.
It's pretty much guaranteed to see Warp Prism with White Raw, to be honest, especially within this matchup. And a bit of a, well, there was just, let me talk about this for a second. Let me talk about this, DJ Weed.
Do it.
Is that the probe got in there for an extraordinarily long time. It saw the early gas, it could check the amount, it saw the reactor, it saw everything that was going on, and then Puma realized that, god damn, that probe shouldn't have gone in. He actually built the second refinery in White Raw's vision, then cancelled it, just to really keep White Raw out of the loop. But look at this, he has a Zealot standing right there, and it's like, oh, he can't actually see it
he can't.
quite yet. No, there is a command center there, but there we go. Special tactics, sees the command center, and he's going to be able to do a bit of pressure here. You know, he may even be able to force a cancellation on this command center. This is pretty good for White Raw while expanding behind.
Yeah, and I mean, so far right here, I mean, here we got a few more Hellions joining into the fight, but that Zealot is down, its shields are gone. He's going to have to buffer some damage here with the SCVs, and now White Raw's got to get out of there. The Zealot most certainly going to go down, and now with the help of that Marine, the Stalker is in danger, but again, quickly repairing on those Hellions. Another Stalker does come up. He really needs that second Marine out here right now. He's going to move forward. SCV goes down, but 2 more Hellions on the way. That one will go down, and White Raw could lose everything here.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, DJ Weed. You gotta be so careful of moving out. And right now, White Raw only has a single sentry. He will be able to force field the ram, and a Stalker walked in. But you can basically wait until the force field goes, and then with these 4 Hellions, you're going to be able to snipe the sentry, you're going to be able to go in and get probes, so White Raw really has to defend against this.
In fact, he's going to send the 1 Stalker out, but they're like, we don't care, and it does look like he's going to just turn around, not even engage with that Stalker, and does manage to save his main base here. I like the fact that he left his Stalker on the outside and kept the sentry on the inside, I guess lessening the threat there of those Hellions.
And a 4th gateway has been added on for White Raw as well, so he will want to do a bit of pressure shortly, or maybe just wants to get the unit count up. The Robo was added in though after these 3 gateways because he does want to scout. It's a very important thing to scout, DJ Wheat, and he's going to be getting probably 2 observers as well. The gases have been taken now, but over in the base of Puma now, we have siege tanks in production, and you don't really see these very often, but they are so good. Just having 1 or 2 behind your army makes it incredibly difficult to engage.
Now, the army of White Raw kind of taking a position at the top of the ramp while he gets that expansion up. And what do we see here?
We have a Warp Prism. He's not even going to get the Observer.
Nope,
he
there
goes
it is,
straight for it. He has 4 gateways. That's a lot of production. He's going to be dropping everywhere. And White Raw loves Zealots with these Warp Prisms.
Yep. In fact, we're going to have a couple of Hellions pop up in there. No one does go down.
Scan. Is it going to see the Warp Prism? Yeah, it does. I'm sure it saw that as it popped out there. So he knows it's coming, and he's going to have to retreat into his main base with some units now. But even though he's seen it, it's still relatively hard to defend against it, especially because he's gone down siege tanks.
Did he see it, though? I don't know. I mean, it had been such a quick point. Actually, Hellion moving on over to see if he could see him flying around the side, and there is the vision. He does manage to see it. So Puma with some great control there, reconfirming what he thought the scan was going to give. But are these units in position? competition. There it is. Marine's going to try to take out that Warp Prism, and White Raw just dancing. Oh, he flies right over. He puts the Zealots on top of the Marines. The Siege farther away. The Warp Prism gets away. And this, oh my God, the Siege tanks are gonna, the first one goes down. The second one's still pounding away, but a ton of damage is done.
How does he do it? There are more Marines here to prevent the Zealots coming in again. There are 4 Zealots ready to go. But oh my God, how many hit points is that? 2 hit points.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 hit points. It's now regaining its shields right here. He used the Zealots in the same way that we sometimes see the Zerg use, of course, their Baneling bombs on top of some of these units and force the fire. And it was a remarkable engagement there for White Raw. I'm really impressed.
Oh, he's coming in again as well. The Marines are out of position. White Raw's going to come around the back, and there's nothing to stop these 4 Zealots going in. And with the shields regenerated, he's going to be able to get out in time. There is no stim. So in comes the Warp Prism once more. DJ waiting. The Marines are reacting, but Zealots being dropped in the mineral line.
And these Zealots should be able to take out the initial Marines. He's going to go ahead and warp in another set, and that's where it can get very scary. Meanwhile, Puma says, I'm having none of that, and he is going to go ahead, unsiege, move forward. He's already caught a few Stalkers off guard here, and there's not a whole lot of units here. A single little guy inside the main, though, getting ripped apart.
Doing so much damage, but White Raw was so greedy taking a 3rd base while using the Warp Prism and so on. He literally doesn't have enough. He doesn't have Zealot Charge. He may just lose to this counterattack.
Oh, yes. In fact, the bunkers are going to go down as well. He tries to use the high ground. He is he needs to scan. There's no medevacs to see the high ground vision. He takes out one of the tanks, and he does delay it a little bit, but no economy, not going after the economy right there. However, if the bunker goes up, it's going to be oh so nasty. The Observer's going to see the reinforcements. A lot of SCVs were lost here, but you know what? I don't know that Puma knows about that. He does know about the 3rd, but he's decided to not push the issue at all, and we're going to see some Zealots stop a few of these reinforcements.
Yeah, I mean, if he camps out the natural, he can just literally stand there, hold it, and then he'll kill the 3rd. He doesn't want to do it right now because then White Raw will be able to break the contain. But these 6 Ranger Mortals not quite cutting it because he moved just in the perfect position. And now all of a sudden, even though White Raw was doing so well and killing so many SCVs, if I just have a quick look, he killed 21 SCVs, but he hadn't a 3rd Nexus instead of units. He just had nothing to prevent this from happening.
And oh, the Twilight Council's not powered, and that's why Charge is not finished. And there's the scan up to the high ground. We see the Warp Prism filling up with an Immortal. Might drop right on top of that tank, and that's exactly what he does. Gonna try to break this himself as he comes down with the 2nd Immortal as well. And the 2nd tank goes down. 3rd tank may fall, but has the damage already been done? The tank falls, but there are still a ton of Marines left.
Yeah, the Marines are left. They don't have stim, though. But, Zealot Charge!
GG.
Whoa. Game
Solid.
1.
Game 1.
Dude, do you know what?
Huh.
We're not biased commentators, are we?
Why? I thought it was great either way. I mean, White Raw came out. He had a nice little attack from the beginning. Puma. That's kind of...
That's like a... That screams like, donate to White Raw to help his cause. Like...
Oh, it's like, hey, by the way, just in case you didn't know, even though you GG'd and then you F10 end out, yeah, Puma won that one. Game 1 goes over to Puma. The counterattack was a smart thing to do. I think you kind of said it perfectly there. The winner was Puma. If you look at the fact that the 3rd was taken, you know, how many more units would he have had there in his front? He also caught those Stalkers out of position. So while he had a very successful attack, quite possible that White Raw got a little bit too ahead of himself there with the 3rd base. What do you think?
Yeah, he definitely did. I think that the 3rd base was a little bit too soon. I think that he wasn't really expecting that counterattack to come, and more of Puma defending a little bit harder. And literally, if Puma hadn't gone, if he'd gone 1 minute later, 1:30 seconds later, Zealot Charge would have been done. He would have had the economy boost. Like, it all would have been perfect, just like White Raw would have thought out in his head. But Puma realizing that I'm just going to go for it now because you probably... Well, he saw the 3rd Nexus, which is the key thing. And he knew that a lot of money was invested in the Warp Prism and the Zealots and so on and so on. But the next map is Daybreak, which is a really interesting decision here from White Raw.
Yeah, I mean, it's his choice. Might be perfect for the special tactics as well. So very excited for us to see this next match get started here.